A Miser Brothers Christmas. Facts. A Miser Brothers Christmas Special is a sequel to the classic 1974 Christmas television special, The Year Without a Santa Claus. This stop-motion animation special was produced by Warner Brother Television Animation, owners of the post-1973 Rankin Bass Animated Special Library, and Toronto-based Kappa Coffee Studios. It premiered as part of ABC's Family's 24 Days of Christmas on December 13th, 2008, the year of the recession. The main plot of this special is Santa's chief mechanic, Tinsel, makes a new super sleigh, which Santa decides to test out the next day. Meanwhile, the feuding Miser brothers, He Miser and Snow Miser, attend their family reunion. And oh my god, is it even... Oh, sorry, I thought the thing was recording for a second there. Anyways, sorry. Attend their family reunion, where their brother, North Wind, passively asks Mother Nature what might happen if Santa Claus were unable to complete his duties on Christmas. She responds to North Wind that he would take over instead. This is an odd thing, considering that why would North Wind take over? Why wouldn't Mrs. Claus perhaps take over, since she is, after all, Santa Claus's wife, and in the original, she had a whole song about doing this if Santa ever wasn't able to perform his duties. Second thing you'll notice is that she says North Wind would take over because he owns the North Pole. You also notice that this is very peculiar, considering in the original special that Snow Miser owned the North Pole, since it was Snow Miser that Mrs. Claus and 2 elves and 1 human boy needed to visit to get some snow down in the south. To those who remember, the south is, of course, owned by He Miser. Everyone knows that. I'm sorry, I'm not sure why I said that. Everyone knows that. And so basically, for some reason, they decided to ignore the original continuity of the original and give the North Pole to North Wind, instead of letting it stay in the possession of Snow Miser. We'll put a pin in that for now. North Wind is their somewhat estranged brother. He's being self-absorbed and is fixated on the idea of being Santa Claus. Why? Same reason as the Incredibles villain from Narcissism, basically. He's kind of like Syndrome, but less complex. Like, he has Syndrome's vanity and goals, sort of. But in a more vain, narcissistic, I want to be Santa Claus because I want to be worshipped by everyone. And I want them to see how great I am. Which is basically kind of like Syndrome, but less complex. North Wind is more malevolent than his brothers, where his brothers they weren't evil, they were just more like chaotic neutral. North Wind, on the other hand, is more lawfully evil, in the sense he played by certain rules to make sure he gets what he wants, and he's not afraid to commit an act of murder or to get anyone in his way out of the way. Thus, he sends 2 of his minions to sabotage Santa's sleigh. Unfortunately, and lucky for North Wind, this was good for North Wind, not for Santa, but it sends Santa Claus into the Miser brothers' fighting territory. and the Miser brothers accidentally shoot him down. Despite what Mother told North Wind before, she doesn't actually make him in charge. She puts the Miser brothers in charge of the toy factory after they are blamed for the injuries, which it kind of makes sense that they would get blamed considering their nature. Though it'd be kind of more believable if they're kind of just like thinking it's Heat Miser, since, well, Heat Miser has shown his disdain towards Christmas and Santa Claus over the years, since it gives his brother way more publicity, which would make more sense to set up Heat Miser, since there's more evidence against him, since he's openly stated to Mrs. Claus and the two elves I mentioned before that he does not like Christmas, nor does he like the Clauses. But as for Snow Miser, well, earlier when during the meeting when they were talking about what could happen to Santa Claus, well, Mother Nature says, "Oh dear, that would be terrible," and Heat Miser is like, "Why should I care? He's never done anything to me." While Snow Miser, again, I'm about to talk about the original after I say this, goes, whatever, man. Like, that is his literal words, which startled me, actually, considering in the original, and I quote, Snow Miser describes Santa Claus as the best advertisement snow business ever had, and considers him a friend, though technically for business reasons, admittedly. So it makes it kind of odd that Snow Miser wouldn't care about his best advertisement, specifically an advertisement that comes for free, intentionally free, because Santa Claus intentionally, advertise for winter. It just happens to be the time of year he operates at. Anywho, their fighting continues at the North Pole workshop. As for North Wind, he hatches a new plan to keep them fighting, so it would appear as if they're trying to ruin Christmas on purpose. But Mrs. Claus convinces both misers to cooperate by showing the naughty and nice list with a song. And how she gets them to calm down, I'm going to put a pin on that. Probably put it into part 2 of this review, because I want to talk about that one a little bit more. So, after they put their differences aside, they get all buddy-buddy and they do a reprise of their song. Their theme songs from the original. But now it's like kind of like a fusion of the two songs. And they sing kind of like each other's praises, which is kind of like, in a way, their apology to each other. They're just over the fighting over the years. But, of course, this is short-lived. Very short-lived. Since when it gets to Christmas Eve and it's time to go on Santa's sleigh ride, North Wind sabotages the sled, so one side shoots out fire at Snow Miser and the other at Snow at Heat Miser, causing the two to think they were secretly working against each other. And then, of course, they go back to fist fighting and saying everything more. This review will be continued in part 2. Thanks for watching.